It is the start of a brand new week, Monday, June 8th. I'm Derek Shore here at Houston Life, along with the lovely Courtney Zavala, who one day, I hope, will be seated 6 feet away from me here at this desk. How are you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing good. I can't believe it's another Monday and we got through it again. I know. I'm missing you, friend, my TV husband. I can't wait till we're like up to our old shenanigans right next door. Next door? Right next to each other.
Yeah.
Or next door.
We're going to have to figure that out. Maybe we'll get a bigger desk when you finally come back to studio. But I don't know. We're going on about 3 months of this socially distant television show that we're doing now.
Yeah.
And again, a lot has happened in the world, right? It's a mess. But somehow we're still on the air every day at 1 o'clock.
We are. Isn't that amazing? No, I'm kidding.
Actually, some days, yes. You know, it's funny. I had a conversation with some friends yesterday about things that go wrong. You know, people are always fascinated to know about things that go wrong on live television. And I was like, where do I begin? What do you want to know? What can I tell you? From like food being dropped all over the floor to me not being able to hear you to you not being able to hear me. And oh my gosh. I mean, it was easy. When you were in studio, it was so easy to do the show compared to now. So I don't know. We've all learned something new.
You know what's funny is when we are next to each other, it's sort of like, you know, we could just make sort of eye contact and we know like, okay, all right, I get it. Like it's sort of this unwritten language that we have. It's kind of like we know what to do, but I don't know how to do that to you now other than say, you know, there's no way to do it. Actually, I'm looking straight ahead and I can't see you anyway. So I'm just seeing a camera lens. So, you know, we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
It's got to be very strange just staring into the lens. Yeah. What's the phrase that I often will say to you, Courtney? Speaking of just like making eye contact. You know, when you get the church laughs, like the church giggles, and I look at you and I know something is up, what do I always say to you? I say, don't look at me.
Oh my gosh, now you're putting me on the spot.
Don't look at me.
Yes, don't make eye contact.
We literally have to stay away. And especially if we are at an event together. I mean, I don't even remember the last time we were at an event together, maybe January, but there are some very interesting scenarios we've navigated together. Oh, speaking of scenarios, so I'm so glad that we have Monica and Darian Lewis on the show today, the etiquette experts, because over the past week, as we have been watching all of the protests happening and, you know, such a big crowd that turned out here in Houston. Protests continued this weekend. I'm not sure if you saw some of the footage from cities around the world this weekend, not just in the U.S., but in countries all over the place, right? And massive, massive crowds. Tens of thousands of people showing up, hundreds of thousands in some cities. And I'm so glad that we are having this conversation, right? People are finding new ways to communicate, to be respectful. Obviously today here in Houston, we have the public viewing for George Floyd. And so people are waiting online. If you've been watching Channel 2, you've seen the coverage all morning. We have a team, a huge team out there. And it's, I don't know, it still never ceases to amaze me though, Courtney, some of the battles that I see playing out online on our Facebook pages, and I don't know, some people out there are very aggressive in their ignorance. Is that a diplomatic way for me to say that? I've had to really exercise my patience.
I know, and I know what you mean, because there has been this conversation where it's not, the dots are not being connected.
For some people.
And for some people, exactly. And until that can happen, the entire world cannot heal. And it is great. Let's continue the conversation and let's understand maybe where we've all made mistakes and things that we didn't realize were hurtful, whatever the case may be. But if we can't learn from it and we can't grow from it, it doesn't allow us to move forward. And you know, as we always say, there's no there's no pain, no gain, and you have to feel the discomfort in order to get comfortable. That's a quote that I heard over the weekend, and I think that that is so, it makes a lovely point in the fact that yes, many of us are uncomfortable, many of us are feeling uncomfortable, but until we feel that, we cannot heal. And until those dots are connected, you know, it's so crazy because, and maybe this isn't the lightning rod that we wanted to have today, but when we had this conversation last week with the Black Lives Matter movement, and some people are saying, but all lives matter. And I was trying to have this conversation and explain to somebody that yes, all lives do matter. That's not what we're saying, but it was sort of, we couldn't explain it, right? And so it finally came to a point of, well, if you're at a breast cancer run or a walk or some kind of event, somebody in the back doesn't stand up and say, well, I have colon cancer, what about me? No, that's not what we're doing. We are talking about this particular cancer, and then when it's time to talk about the other one, we rally behind who needs it. And so I think that's where the dots are not being connected.
100%. And what's interesting to me about, I think that some people say that not realizing that when they say all lives matter, how deeply offensive that is. And for members of the Black community, our Black brothers and sisters, they are disproportionately affected by so many issues that white people don't even think about because they don't have to, and they never have had to. So the mistreatment of the Black community is well documented, right? Well documented. I did a story a long time ago about the death of Emmett Till, and many of us heard about Emmett Till growing up in school. He was a Black boy from Chicago who was visiting family in Mississippi, and the story goes that allegedly he whistled at a white woman, and later that night he was dragged out of his relative's home and brutally murdered and tortured. And I think, I mean, not only did that was a defining moment for me, going down to Mississippi and retracing these steps. We think of the civil rights movement and we think of racism, it's such an ugly word, right, as this like outward thing, right? And what I think, like this outwardly hateful thing. We think of people like using slurs, and well, clearly, like, well, I'm not racist because I don't use these slurs. But I think what a lot of people are still failing to understand is that racism is sort of subtly woven into so many different facets of our lives and our communities, from school funding to property to, I mean, there are a million ways you can point out the inequities that have been faced by the Black community for generations. And so when people are saying like, well, what about me? I'm white, white lives matter. What? Oh my gosh, people, don't say that. Do yourself a favor, do not say that. If you've posted it on social media, take it down. Or if you know someone who has, maybe have this conversation and help them, I don't know, maybe gently, kindly help people understand why this is problematic. And that's where I think Monica and Darian can maybe help us, because I gotta tell you, I really have had to like rein in some of what I've been feeling so I don't go on the offense too hard.
And they are wonderful. We usually have so much fun with them when they are on husband and wife team, and they talk about manners and etiquette and what to do in certain social situations. So I'm glad we're leaning on them today. They're a lovely couple. But I also think what's really great too is our community, not only here in Houston, but you know, around the country, around the world. So many people are talking about how do we support Black-owned businesses and how do we lift these businesses up. I have seen posts, of course, in the fashion world for things coming from the UK with these beautiful dresses and designs by African-American women, and so when this is now taking off, so many people that I've seen here saying, I'm buying this dress, and they're beautiful, but how would we ever hear about these artists around the world and designers and restaurants and food trucks? Like, it needs word of mouth. We have to lean on each other to lift these businesses up.
Yeah, and we actually posed that question. We posted it on our Houston Life Facebook page. We asked you all to just name some locally owned Black businesses we can all support. And we had a fantastic list. Everything from donut shops, beignet shops, to cleaning services, to legal services, to fashion, to weight loss. I mean, there are a million of them out there. And obviously, again, to underscore that now is a time that we need to come together and show our brothers and sisters a bit of extra love. And I encourage you to look at, I mean, speaking of people who just don't get it, some of the comments on that too, we got an overwhelming response, and overwhelmingly supportive, but there were a few comments that just really left me kind of speechless by people who still are having trouble understanding that there is an issue in our country that's existed. And I'm with you, Courtney. I hope that by coming together, and there's not one person out there, right, who has the magical answer to all of this, right? But with our diverse collective experiences, if we all come together and are listening to each other with kindness, then we have to be able to get through this, right? And I know 2020 is like the perfect storm. Things are a bit out of control, but we will get through this. We absolutely will.
We will. We will, for sure. Don't just wear the shirt, be kind. You know those shirts everybody's like wearing all these fun little, just do it. Wear the shirt, be kind, stand, you know what I mean? So like the good vibes or whatever, good vibes only shirt that I see, but spread the good vibes everywhere. That's what we need.
Spread the good vibes.
Good energy.
Yeah, and there are people I think that that will maybe never, I don't know, maybe never come around. I like to stay hopeful that sometimes people can say like, oh wow, little light bulb went off. Like, I think I get it now. I don't think that everyone will be able to get to that place, but I hope that for humanity and for the vast majority of folks, we can exit this whole experience better people, better people with a better understanding, with a more level playing field for everyone, regardless of their skin color.
Absolutely. I'm with you, my friend. Virtual high five.
Virtual high five. Hey, we did something this week that felt so weird this weekend. We went to a restaurant.
Uh-oh.
We went to a restaurant and...
Oh, you actually went in.
We went in, and we haven't for a long time. We ended up going and having, we love the salads from Barnaby's. Barnaby's is great, and Baby Barnaby's.
We get takeout there at least once a week.
Do you really? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I love the fattoush salad.
You love the fattoush, yes.
Oh, so good.
So we had a little salad, we had a friend in town visiting, so we decided to go out and have a meal there. And I have to say, Barnaby's did such a great job because they had every other table blocked off, actual signs at the tables preventing people from sitting there. So we felt like we were spaced out and it felt good. But at the same time, it did feel kind of strange to be entering this world. Like, should we be doing this? Should we not be doing this? And I was sort of, I don't know, I think part of me was ashamed of like being shamed for actually going out. And I know so many people have felt torn about this. You want to get out, you want to support our businesses. So many of them have been struggling for so many months, but it does feel like this strange new world, complete with hand sanitizer around every corner.
I know, but it was good, right? I mean, you at the end of the day, when you got home after you're going into Barnaby's and sitting down and having someone serve you, it felt normal. It felt good, right?
It felt good. It felt good. It reminded me how much I love their salads. It really was great to get outside. I know it's the simple things,
They're
right?
So good.
It sounds so ridiculous, but
I know.
But it was great. And you had a little outing. I couldn't believe I saw on Instagram you finally went to Round Top. This was your first time ever, Courtney?
My first time ever. Now, also, I will say today is National BFF Day. So shout out to best friend Lori and, of course, best friend Lewis for you. So this weekend, so Lori's family and her grandmother, they have a house in Carmine. And I've never been to Round Top. She's talked about it. I've seen all the stories and the pictures and all that. So there was a big pop-up that happened over the weekend because, of course, Spring Round Top didn't happen. And the chamber put together a pop-up in Round Top, Carmine, Waverly, and all these little surrounding areas. So not as large and big as, spring and fall Round Top. But let me tell you something. It was amazing to get out and do a little girls trip. That's Lori's mom went with us. She was hanging with us, Miss Patsy. And we ate lunch at the Garden Company, which is a fabulous spot right in town. And let me tell you, the amount of people, Derek, that stop me, our HL lovely viewers. I'm here because of you. I came to get this because of you. You and Derek cracked me up. I love watching you guys. You've lifted me up during COVID. It was person after person after person, and it was so wonderful to see all the Houstonians that rolled into Round Top over the weekend to help all of these vendors who haven't made a dime since quarantine, and it was so fantastic. It was great. We were there all day long, and it just felt good, like you, to get out of the house and do something. But I was wiped, because when was the last time I actually was out of the house for a significant amount of time?
Yeah.
It was like, I need a nap.
Did you take one? And also, what did you buy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my word. I bought so much good stuff. I mean, jewelry. I bought this necklace, a couple headbands. I did buy a really cool kind of this metal globe looking thing that I'm going to put in the backyard, and I'll show that to you. And that was by, like, on the side of the road in Carmine. So it was really cool. 20 bucks, I think it ended up costing.
Wow.
And, you know, I was looking for it, and we kind of stopped at a couple different places, and we just had the best time, the best time.
It really is a magical spot, and I remember my first visit to Round Top. I had known about it for years. The Christmas before I had moved to Houston, so that was December of 2015, I was home with my mom in Salt Lake, and we were watching Chip and Joanna Gaines on Fixer Upper, right? And it was, we saw the episode where they go to Round Top and they load up the trailer and they buy all of these treasures, right? And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, Round Top is this magical universe that I need to somehow get to Round Top. And the next thing I knew, I was living in Houston and we were out in Round Top shopping. And the thing is, I needed like to buy a big truck or something, or a house that could accommodate all of the things I want to buy from Round Top, because never in a million years did I think I would need like a statue or like a giant old gas station sign. Like, where could I put this giant old gas station sign in my house? So needless to say, I didn't buy the statue or the gas station sign, but they do have so many great things, and it makes me so happy to know that these vendors can finally start bringing in some money.
I know. It was so awesome. We had such a great time. And of course, Royer's Pies, and it was Pie Haven. It was unbelievable. We were full as ticks, tired, and we needed naps.
What kind of pie did you bring me? You went all the way to Round Top and you didn't bring me a pie from Royer's. Don't worry.
But when I see you next time, I will have a Royer's pie for you. How about that?
Oh, okay. Well, that is very kind that you would drive all the way out there for me. I appreciate it, my dear. Hey, it's a big day at Houston Life because we're going to give away some money. How does that sound? Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so
I like it.
You guys know what this is. For the past few weeks, we've been featuring some senior shout-outs, of course, to help celebrate the class of 2020. It's all part of our KPRC Channel 2 yearbook sponsored by Kroger. So the way it worked was everyone who submitted a photo, we showed some of the photos here on the show, right? And they were also on the website in a gallery. But every submission meant an entry to win a $2,020 Kroger gift card. And Courtney, today we're going to announce the big winner.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I cannot wait for that. Also, we're checking back in with Houston's own Gene Moore, the Houston gospel artist. He was nominated for a Grammy earlier this year. He's going to give us his insight on basically how music can comfort us right now during these difficult times. His voice is magical. I can't wait to check in with him.
Looking forward to that. And up next, protests happening across the country have been sparking conversations about racism and injustice. We'll share the importance of civility and how to have respectful discussions right after this.
Well, welcome back to Houston Life. You know, having open conversations about racism, police brutality, and racial injustice can be difficult and uncomfortable.
And if you're feeling unsure about what to say or what to post online during these times, you are not alone. Etiquette experts Monica and Darian Lewis with the Monica Lewis School of Etiquette are joining us now. It is great to see you both. We miss you.
We miss you guys.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks for your time today. And let's just start the conversation with civility. Why don't we just break down this word civility? What does it actually mean? Give us a refresher.
I'm glad you asked. Okay, so the basic definition of civility is having kindness, manners, respect, and extending that to all members of your society, regardless of color, regardless of class, regardless of religion, creed, you name it. It's just the basic concept of kindness, respect, and manners for everyone.
And that is so important because that needs to encompass everyone, as you're saying, and
Absolutely.
that includes children. Because let's face it, when kids are saying mean and hurtful things, that is a learned behavior from somewhere in their inner circle.
And that's important that we understand that intolerance, racism, classism, all of those things are learned behaviors. Those are not innate behaviors that we pick up just coming out of the womb. Those are things that we're conditioned. Those are things that are shaped and impressed upon us from, our youth. Right. So as parents, uncles, caregivers, grandparents, cousins, neighbors, community, it's our job to really shape the way that our children and those who look up to us see this world. I know that there's a popular term called, colorblind, but the reality is we have to be color muted because there are no translucent people. We're all people of color, regardless of how you like to categorize it. We're all people of color.
Yeah.
We all have color pigmentation, so we have to be able to understand that each of us is deserving of respect, kindness, and fairness.
And Monica and Darian, we've mentioned so much here on Houston Life the last couple of weeks, just about everything that's going on social media, right? The good, the bad, everything in between. And oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I can feel my blood pressure raising sometimes when I'm scrolling through the feed. For people out there who are feeling frustrated, maybe they haven't posted or they're not sure what to do, what is your advice to them? Because I feel like, the best in people can really come out on social media, but we can also see some really ugly things out there right now.
Right. And well, fact is that no one should pressure you into speaking out. Because if you're not ready to speak out, that means that what you put out is going to be out there forever. But before you speak out, there's other ways to make your voice heard. And the social media may not be the platform that you want to speak out on. You could do based on voting. You can also do...
you can get involved volunteering.
Yeah.
But it starts with getting the facts.
Right.
Educating yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or even making a donation to a cause.
Right, and using that for your platform as well. And Monica and Darian, Derek and I have had this conversation, and so many people have, where you're talking about the BLM, the Black Lives Matter movement, versus the person that says all lives matter. And what I love about you guys is you always use some sort of acronym to help us remember what to do in these circumstances. So break it down for us, and you're using the acronym TACT.
TACT. Yes, exactly. So when you're having these conversations, they're brought to the forefront. No longer are we having the kitchen conversations. We're actually talking about them in society. So we say address them with tact. T stands for test for diplomacy, meaning make sure that what you say is what you intend to say. Make sure that you're talking and communicating in the right timing, in the right tone, and if it's relevant or if it makes sense, if it's logical. That's what diplomacy is all about, making sure that you're thinking about how this is going to be received versus just getting the words out of your mouth just to say something.
And also test your mental health. You may not be able to talk about this particular subject. So if you're not in control of your emotions, that is going to feed out, and no one is going to listen. So definitely test your emotions to make sure that is in check. Right.
So then we move to the A. And that is ask questions. Ask questions to get clarity. Make sure that, when you're having this conversation with a friend or a family member or other people, you want to make sure you have a frame of reference so you can understand. So when you do respond, you're responding with the information and the facts that you need in order to speak intelligently. But then we move to C, and that's called communicate with empathy. Yeah. And Monica has that.
Yeah, that is very important. Courtney, you mentioned earlier about empathy. And I think sometimes we get confused, empathy versus sympathy. Sympathy, yes, we feel it because, you may have lost someone, or even Mr. Floyd, we feel the hurt. But empathy means that you are in it. Heart, it's like a union in heart. You feel it. I mean, it goes beyond logic. And I think that is what most of us are feeling, is empathy. And that's why we're like, our voice have to be heard. Matter, if you're black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter, because you now are walking in the shoes of us.
Right. Of the persons that have been, disenfranchised or disrespected. And then after you get through that, you go to the last T, and that is take time to listen. it's so important that we don't spend all of our time just blasting out communications or sending out messages or just saying things or shouting it out, but we're really taking the time to listen to each other, to understand and find that place where we can start to move to a resolution. Many times we fail to listen and we don't hear each other, we get nowhere. Yeah. And right now, if there's ever been a time for us to take time to listen, it is now. So we encourage everybody to think about how they want to respond, but apply tact when you do respond. So yes, Black Lives Matter. Yes, all lives matter. But right now, we have to focus on the main thing. And the main thing right now is making sure that no member of our society feels disrespected, disenfranchised, demoralized, any of those things, because we all are entitled to the right of liberty and the pursuit of happiness and justice. So those are the things that really should be brought to the forefront and discussed.
Amen. And one of my favorite quotes that Courtney has always said is that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, just underscoring the importance of listening. We're out of time, guys, but any final thoughts to share with us? Because I know that these conversations can be really tricky to navigate.
They are. And our best advice right now is don't let this just be a once and done conversation. This is a conversation that should continue. This is a conversation that should start with you and your family, your friend circle, because some people say, well, I'm just one person. All it takes is one person to spark change, continue the change. We should all be looking for changed behavior, change in practices, changes in policy, changes in law. And we can all do this one person at a time. And so that's the biggest takeaway from all of this that's happening, you know, whether it's with Mr. Floyd or whether it's with the pandemic that's going on. It takes each one of us to do our part. So if we all start to do our part and listen and communicate with tact and empathy, I think we'll be a much better society.
And I think as parents talking to their children, you should be starting this conversation at 3. Not talking about racism or race, but you could be talking about ethnic background, their culture. This is how you get them involved in the differences in that. It makes a great world to have everyone different.
Different makes the world better.
Well, Monica and Darian Lewis, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. We miss seeing you in person. Thanks for the conversation today, and also for more helpful tips from Monica and Darian, please check out our website. We've posted it online. Great to see you both.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Our favorite time of the show, of course, is to highlight our artist of the day for our artwork in the HL. Over-the-shoulder graphic, as we like to say. And this one, I'm digging totally the beach scene that we have today. It was done by a brother-sister duo, Rebecca and Enrique. Rebecca's going into 7th, Enrique is going into 8th grade. And so the H is basically the water, and the L is the sunset. Do you love it?
Very nice. Very clever. I love that it was a brother-sister duo. Enrique and Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, they did a great job. So thank you so much.
Nicely done. Still ahead on Houston Life, 18-year-old Cameron Welch discusses his viral TikTok post about his mom's unwritten rules he should follow as a young Black man. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back. In case you don't know and you've never heard of it, TikTok, it's an app known for dance video challenges, all kinds of stuff, but these great stuffs are posted there daily. But recently, Houstonian Cameron Welch posted a video breaking down a list of unwritten rules his mom makes him follow every day as a young Black man.
Yeah, many of you have probably seen this. Cameron's video now has almost 12 million views, along with thousands of shares. The 18-year-old joins Lauren Kelly today with more advice on how we can all continue the conversation.
Don't put your hoodie on. Don't be outside with no shirt on. Check in with your people. It don't matter even if you're down the street. Don't be out too late. Don't touch anything you're not buying.
At only 18 years old, Houstonian Cameron Welch has gone viral with a single upload to TikTok.
Don't drive with a wife beat on. Don't drive with a do-rag on.
Cameron's joining us today. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy, but your video, Cameron, it's just heartbreaking and touching all at the same time.
Well, it was more like a informal video
to like inform the other races of how Black man lives day to day.
So this is something that you could easily recite. How many times do you think your mom has read you or told you those list of things, basically your unwritten rules that you must follow as a young Black man?
Thousands of times.
Thousands of times. Starting at how old? How young were you when she first told you those things?
11, 12, around that age.
And they stuck with you, right? I mean, obviously you think about it every time you leave your house.
Yes, ma'am.
Your video has gotten more than 9.5 million views. So on the positive side, people are watching and they're taking note, and I feel that they're really starting the conversation. Do you think starting these conversations in the household is where it begins?
Yes, ma'am, and not just in one household. It has to be in multiple households so everybody can understand and see from a different perspective.
Cameron, for a lot of people who are not on TikTok, why don't you go ahead? Can you list a few of those unwritten rules that your mom told you? This is a list of things that she wants you to keep in mind every time you leave the house.
Yeah, like when I go in the store, not to touch stuff I'm not buying. Don't wear a hoodie. Can't bring my backpack in the store. Don't put your hands in your pockets. You know, don't wear do-rags out in public and stuff.
It's just like it's just every stereotype, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the one thing you want from people to take away from your post the most?
To understand that no one should live like this and that we need to bring change. Stay positive. Like, keep your head up. You know, don't let stuff get you down easily. You have to believe in change first for change to come. Just believe.
Just believe. I can listen to him all day. Listen to this. Even celebrities like Ice Cube have taken notice of Cameron's post, and we did post a link for you to watch the full viral video on HoustonLife.tv.
Yeah, he's an inspiration. Definitely a strong young man there. All right, still ahead on Houston Life, Houston gospel singer Gene Moore shares how music can comfort us in trying times. We'll be right back.
But faith says stand and be strong. In the darkness I will declare nothing's too hard for you. I will keep my mind on what you are able to do. I will lift mine eyes, for my help cometh from you. I'm depending on you.
That was Depending on You by gospel singer Gene Moore, a song to help us find solace and see the light at the end of this dark tunnel that we're in, especially during this turbulent times that we face as a nation.
Yeah, the Grammy-nominated artist is joining us now to share how music can help us all. Gene Moore, it is so great to see you. Dude, I have shivers running down my spine right now. Your voice is absolutely incredible. How have you been these last few weeks? How have you stayed positive?
You know, I've been staying positive really by surrounding myself with good energy being my family, being good friends, being around my good friends. And also now since the gyms have opened back up, I've been spending a lot of times in the gym. You know, that kind of, helps liberate, it kind of frees me up mentally. And, because I've been kind of overeating due to the quarantine. So, but other than that, I've been good.
We are keeping it real.
Yeah, I'm keeping it real. And
I love it.
I'm glad that the screen is only catching like this on up instead of this on down.
I love it. You know, that's so good. I always say working out is like to get the cobwebs out of the head. And,
Absolutely.
you know, it's so great, Gene, to connect with you. And when you say you're surrounding yourself with good energy and positive people, you grew up as a pastor's kid. So leaning on your faith, I'm sure, is nothing new. And that is really important. I think a lot of people find some true comfort in that. And have you leaned on your faith more recently?
Yes, being in this position, it's forced me to just trust in God more. We should trust in God every day, but this is a time where we really, really have to put our faith in God because we don't know what's going to lie ahead. They're saying that there could be a second wave of the pandemic that will hit in the fall. And, we thought that we caught the brunt of it now, but if this thing goes on until next year, we really have to be proactive and think about what the next step is going to be, because life as we once knew it is no more. I was telling my wife that this is the time where we really have to be more proactive, and we have to be more self-sufficient in terms of how we support ourselves and how we make money, because the entire world has been unemployed. And I know, personally speaking, as a gospel artist, a lot of my dates were canceled. So I had to scramble and think, okay, what am I going to do to pull income in? So a lot of things have changed, but a lot of things have really made me say to myself, I have to just put my faith in God. It's either I'm going to worry, I'm going to stress, or I'm going to trust God. And so I just choose to trust in God.
Gene, the last time we saw you, you were on your way to LA for the Grammys. You, of course, a reminder to our viewers, you were nominated for Best Gospel Album. And what a year this has been for you. I mean, as you just mentioned, I know gigs have been difficult or canceled or postponed. And if you're an artist, so many artists are stuck in this very strange spot. You believe, though, that music is such a great way to unite us, to bring us together. And my gosh, it seems like we could use that now more than ever.
Absolutely. Music is it's a universal language. Whether you speak English, whether you speak Spanish, whether you speak Italian, it really doesn't matter, because the sound of the music alone has a way of resonating in the hearts of people, and it pulls people together. And so, if nothing else, I just want music to heal. I just want my music to inspire. And I just want my music to just make people just perk up, for lack of better words. If you're just having that day where you don't feel like getting out of the bed, I just want my music just to inspire and just to let people know, hey, man, it's a new day.
It is a new day, and music, I'm one of those people that I lean on music quite a bit, whether it's to lift me up, pump me up, help me. It's something I've done my entire life. And with your new single that we heard right before we came to you to have our chat, Depending on You, I was closing my eyes and I'm hearing the words, and I have to tell you, it's so powerful and it's so interesting that the single is out now during this time. This is really basically a message of healing, right? During these turbulent times.
It is. When I wrote the song, I didn't know how important the song was going to be during this particular time. That was actually the very first song that I wrote on my record, and my record came out last year. And looking back in hindsight, it's so funny how when I was writing those lyrics a year ago, that those lyrics are the very lyrics that I have to apply to my own self. The lyric says, tested but committed to staying with you, ignoring thoughts that make me doubt you. Life says, look at what's wrong, but faith says, stand and be strong. In the darkness, I will declare that you will bring me through. And so now I'm in a position where I have to literally live what I sing about now. Because there are times when, there have been those days where, I've been discouraged and I've been upset, and I'm like, okay, man, when is this thing gonna lift? When is this thing gonna end? When am I gonna get back to my regular routine? But I just have to remind myself that I'm dependent on God, and if you continue to do that, He's gonna see you through.
Well, Jean Moore, it's great to catch up with you. We hope to see you soon, again, in studio when that permits. Take care. It's wonderful to see you, and thanks for making time for us today on Houston Life.
Thank y'all for having me.
Great to see you, Gene. And we do have a link to his brand new single on our website, HoustonLife.tv. We'll be right back. In honor of the class of 2020, we've been featuring some senior shout-outs on Houston Life as part of our KPRC Channel 2 Senior Yearbook. All month long, viewers have been submitting photos of their graduates along with some of their accomplishments, future plans, and get this, everyone who submitted their picture was also entered into a contest for their chance to win a $2,020 gift card from Kroger. Joining us now is one of our contest finalists from Tompkins High School, Stephanie Heath. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations on finishing up your high school career. How did that feel, graduating but not really being with your classmates and teachers anymore?
It was definitely very sad because for 4 years I had looked forward to my final day of high school and walking down those halls with my best friends in our cap and gowns, and we didn't really get that this year. But I mean, I've had this time to kind of spend with my family, and so that was the good part of all of this.
I can tell you're optimistic. So I hear that you were on the varsity soccer team. Your team was doing really well this season. Expected actually to be #1 in the state this year, which is huge. But then the season was cut short, just shy of the playoffs when COVID-19 unfolded. So that's got to be bittersweet, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Soccer has been a huge part of my life. I've played since I was 4 years old, and the team at Tompkins was just something really, really special. I played all 4 years that I was in high school, and I was able to play varsity for 2 years. And last year we actually went to the state tournament, but finished second. And my freshman year, I wasn't on varsity team, but I was there when they went to state and finished second as well. So we definitely wanted this year, our very last year, to be the year that we could get the gold. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but how impressive though. I mean, headed to #1 in the state. I'm sure you guys are really good. I'm just looking through some of your accomplishments right now, Stephanie. You've played piano since you were 7 years old. You're involved in National Honor Society, Student Council, Spanish Club, Best Buddies, the Psychology Club, and your volunteerism, Kids Meals, I Can Bike, Susan G. Komen, Clothed by Faith. I mean, it's really incredible. It sounds like you stayed very busy during your high school career. What are your plans now?
I am going to be headed to Texas A&M in the fall to attend Mays Business School and major in Management Information Systems. My ultimate goal is to attend law school so I can practice cyber law, which is just really fascinating to me because it kind of combines both of my parents. My dad works in IT and my mom's an attorney. So I've grown up watching both of them, and I was like, this is a perfect combination. So
oh my goodness.
I'm very excited for that.
That's incredible. Law school and plans to practice cyber law. Something tells me you're not afraid of very large textbooks, right? You don't mind just studying and reading a lot?
I think I'm getting used to it based on what I've done in high school, so hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had some good training. Is it true you were ranked number 45 out of a class of almost 900?
Yes, I was. I just got my final ranking, and yes, it was 45.
So how does that feel?
It feels really, really good. I worked really hard throughout high school, and I really, really dedicated myself to my academics. And at first, my goal was just to be in the top 10% because for A&M, that was your auto admit. I mean, the business school is always holistic, but I was like, I need to put myself in the best position possible. So I'd always put my goal, top 10%. And I really exceeded that because I ended up in the top 5%. So
that is really cool. It's amazing too. I mean, I'm so impressed that you have this plan for your life. I still don't know what I want to do with my life. So I think it's incredible that you sorted a lot of this out in advance. We're almost out of time, but I do want to point out that you guys are going to do an outdoor prom later this month and also an outdoor graduation. So you're not really missing out on everything this senior year.
Yes, that is very nice. My mom and I have actually been planning the outdoor prom, which has been a little bit of work, but I know it's going to be worth it because I know I have been looking forward to prom forever. So I definitely want the other kids at my school to be able to experience it. So if it's a little bit of work for a lot of fun, I'm okay with it.
Well, Stephanie, congratulations on a really great year. Hold the line 1 second because we're going to chat with a couple more finalists. So can you sit tight for a second?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And actually, my producers are telling me there are no other finalists, Stephanie. You're the winner of the gift card. You won.
Oh my gosh.
So a $2,020 gift card to Kroger to honor the class of 2020. And congratulations. I mean, I can only imagine going off to college. What are you going to buy with it?
Well, I'm actually living in an apartment, so I have a full kitchen. And while I'm not super good at cooking right now, I would definitely go to Kroger so I can find some things to cook.
Okay, well, that sounds like a plan. Now's a great time to practice your skills in the kitchen. So congratulations once again, Stephanie Heath, on all your accomplishments. Yeah, and best of luck.
Thank you.
And of course, a special thanks to our friends over at Kroger for making KPRC Channel 2 Senior Yearbook possible. And we do have a photo gallery up with all our senior shout outs on clicktohouston.com/yearbook. And Houston Life will be right back.
Coming up on tomorrow's show, we will chat with Mae Musk. She is the mother of Elon Musk. She's been modeling since she was 15, but at age 69, she became CoverGirl's oldest spokesmodel. She's also an author. She's an ambassador of Dress for Success. And her book now is called A Woman Makes a Plan. It's a candid story about her abusive marriage, working paycheck to paycheck, and how she eventually stopped coloring her hair. Silver's the new blonde. We have a great conversation with her coming up tomorrow, Derek.
Very nice, Courtney. Great to see you. Great to see you all. Let's do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Okay.